Okay, we need to talk about laziness. And I mean laziness on the part of Square when it comes to naming these bosses. These bosses are these bosses are named Strong Beasts. Something about that just gets me, because isn't everything we've fought basically a strong beast? Why did these guys get that name? It's like they just gave up with the naming. So we got to see that Lockbird again. You remember that thing? He was in Transcendence Tier 2, that big ass bird in the middle that revives themselves. Did you know that thing is called the Necro Raven? That's a pretty cool name, if you ask me. Or even take something like the Count Steam. Yeah, they looked completely ridiculous, but their name was at least unique. It described kind of what they did. It just fit with their overall aesthetic. But with this, they just dropped the ball. They went, how about Strong Beast? Come on! Strong Beast? God. Okay, but enough about that. Yes, I'm bringing a tank. But oh my god, you hate tanks! No, I don't. I don't hate tanks. That's bullshit. It's not true. Yes, I barely use them at all, but that doesn't mean I hate them. And for a fight like this, Basch is perfect. Just for the very beginning though. Because really with this fight, it looks a lot worse on paper than it is in practice. Because they kind of do a lot, but realistically, all you gotta do is let him get that recast off right in the beginning, and then you're free to just go open season and kill these things. So that's exactly what we did. Basch has already served his purpose. He was just there to eat 3 recasts in a row, and then he's gonna get the hell out of here. I swear I don't hate tanks, but I'm sorry, but Cloud of Darkness is in the back with her hand up like, hey, I can take over. Yeah, I'm gonna tag you in. Basch, your work here is done. And I figured out Yang instead of Core this time around, because with the 3 enemies, with the fact that you have to let them hit you, I figured with Yang's LD buff, I didn't want the turn order to get all messed up by them breaking us all out of order and adding unnecessary turns and blah blah blah. That's actually also the same reason that I just HP attacked with Terra. I kind of just talked through that when it happened, but I didn't want her getting turn rate and jumping up in front of Basch again, because again, I want Basch out of here and I want Cloud of Darkness in, and then Terra is free to do Terra things. Terra is, okay, I'm gonna just say this now, and yeah, okay, I don't know why I'm about to preface it, because I don't think this should be a shock to anybody. Terra is the best investment I have ever made. The best one. Terra in the Lufenia era. Hands down the best investment I have ever made in this game. I really think so. She's just... they just made her so busted. I mean, that's no shock to anybody. I mean, everybody sees the kind of crazy stuff Terra does. But it's like we keep getting characters ever since Terra's release who do awesome things, who either have like great burst effects or great LD effect or something that you just want on for as long as possible. And you're not going to get that kind of longevity from those effects out of anybody else as you will from Terra. I worded that sentence horribly. You know what I'm trying to say. She milks the hell out of what everybody else can do. Whether it be, you know, something supportive, some follow-up attacks, whatever it may be. Terra's just solid. And she's strong on her own too. Even without all that stuff, she's just strong. Big fan of her. Speaking of, let's get into this burst. Little upsetting that we had to go in while she was poisoned. Not like it mattered much anyway. But that means she does that little whenever she does anything. You'll hear it in a second. After they take forever. There we go. Yeah, that. So we get that every turn and then for another turn out of the burst. But that's okay. Just added a little bit of extra time on the video. It didn't really make much of a difference. I probably could have just C65 spammed out of that before we went into this. But I guess it doesn't matter. It's really not that important. You know what else isn't that important? Artifacts. Yeah, I want to talk about this because I feel as, okay, all right, let me just get this out of the way first. I understand the I don't even want to say joy. I really don't. But I understand the desire and the want to, you know, artifact farm, get good stuff. You know, you want to make the most of your characters. I get that. Especially if you have Mog Pass, you might as well use it. That is one of the perks. Try to get the best you can. I get it. But I feel like it's not even some people. I feel like a lot of people, too many people, place so much emphasis on things like artifacts and spheres and think that they are a lot more important than they really are. They're not. They really aren't. Like, the amount of oomph that you get from that stuff is so minimal. I mean, it helps, yes, but okay, in certain situations it'll help. Like, let's say an example from what I've done would be the Transcendence Tier 2 Garland solo. I had him stacked with Perfect Arts and Spheres because he was by himself taking on a Transcendence Lufenia. So yeah, in that situation, you're gonna want all the help you can get because that turn count is so damn close. And again, you want to beef him up as much as possible so that he can make it. But if Garland was there with a team, you wouldn't have needed artifacts or spheres at all. It would have been fine. And if you would have lost that fight, it wouldn't have been because of your artifacts and spheres. That is never the case, by the way. And I'm probably going to get shit on for saying this, but facts are facts. The fights that you lose are never because of your artifacts and spheres. Never. It's because of either your team or the decisions you make in battle, so on and so forth. It's never because of your artifacts. That's not why people win or lose or whatever. It's got nothing to do with it. In fact, I'm honestly considering, I'm saying this now, but I'm probably not going to do it just because I farm for him, so I won't keep him, but I'm considering just starting to do Lufenias and just unequip all my artifacts to just show people. In fact, I did one, I never uploaded this, but I did record one where, I think it was, which one was it? It was Gladio's event, the one we just did. I brought Farts, Sabin, and Cypher. Yeah, the first time I brought Cypher to Lufenia. And it was awesome. And Sabin and Cypher didn't have any artifacts at all. Like, none. But Sabin Synergy, it would have been the same result. Even without it, it would have been fine. Artifacts aren't... God. People spend so much time talking about potencies and percentages, and I tested this and I did that. And if you have fun doing that, that's great. I'm not trying to shit on anybody's fun. If that's your idea of fun, have at it. Do your thing. But I see so often people will post a screenshot or something in whatever it be, a Discord, a Facebook, a Twitter, somewhere, where their team wipes. And then they'll say, man, so close. I probably just need better artifacts. That's not why you lost. It isn't. It's as simple as that. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying you're worried about the wrong thing. You really are. I've barely talked about this fight and these strong beasts because I went on that artifact tangent, but it needed to be said. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to it. But hey, whatever. I'll get hate, I guess. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care if people hate it or not. I'll just say it because it's what I believe. In fact, it's not even just what I believe. It's just a fact. Like, it's just a fact, dude. I'm telling you. Like, go ask anybody else who like really plays this game like religiously, and you'll get some people that are like, no, I notice a difference when I run this exact setup with these artifacts and this exact setup with different artifacts, and I notice the difference. Okay, but the difference itself is not going to amount to much in battle at the end of the day. Like, your turn count's going to be basically the same. Like, you might save like a turn or two, but it's not going to be, again, it's not going to be one of those things where you lost a fight because your artifacts suck. It doesn't work that way, and it never has. Oh, I never mentioned this. Yeah, we never delayed them. As you can see, their orb count is at 3. We didn't need to. These guys can just blow them up. Figure Cloud of Darkness can just LD spam. It's a little awkward though, because it would have been cool if she could have gotten some breaks in there and then jumped in between some of Terra's rotations, but Yang was just kind of taking all of her breaks because his kicks would come out before her beams would, but it doesn't matter. In fact, in some situations that might actually be cool to just keep the Cloud of Darkness friend on the field for longer. Well, yeah, I mean, either one works, really. It doesn't matter. They're getting blown up. Not so strong now, are you? Ripple kill, beautiful. Okay. That was fun dusting Yang off. Not even like I stopped using them. It was like 3 events or something because they brought core. But Yang works too. Thanks for watching.